everybody. Okay, it's working now. That was weird. Apparently, I think my computer had some updates, and apparently the computer said, no, we don't want to use the microphone today. Well, I'm telling you, damn it, you're going to use the microphone. Hello, everybody. I am Doug Lackey, veteran columnist of Wrestleview.com and co-host of Wrestleview Live, alongside the effervescent editor-in-chief Mike Tedesco, where we cover all of the major WWE pay-per-views immediately following them, especially this coming Sunday, where it is the WWE's longest title for a pay-per-view. It is the horror show at Extreme Rules. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is Wrestleview Weekly, and it's July the 17th, 2020. Yeah. This is going to be a thing, or a show of sorts. Of many sorts. You know, this is going to be a weird one. I've got a feeling this is going to be a weird show. This one and the pay-per-view. Yes. Hello there. How are you? Yes. This is Wrestleview Weekly. We just followed SmackDown. Friday Night SmackDown just finished airing. I don't know if I necessarily want to go over it because there's not really a whole lot to talk about. AJ Styles and Matt Riddle having an Intercontinental title match in Matt Riddle's second match on SmackDown, which seemed to flow pretty well. Didn't seem too bad. Lacey Evans and Naomi having a match, and we might understand why Naomi has not been on TV that much. Or Lacey Evans, for that matter. Yeah. And, the moment of bliss and things. We'll talk about the show and everything. Also going to talk about the news. A WWE Hall of Famer getting arrested again. That is, you can file this under The Sun also sets in the East. Or is it rises in the East? I'm not sure. The milk carton. The WWE milk carton is jam-packed. Okay, and there are some names on there that we haven't seen on there in a long time, and also some names that we're not shocked to see on there. And then finally, the horror show at Extreme Rules. Predictions. We're going to be making them. 7 matches slated on the card. I'll tell you what we do with the predictions here in a little bit, but first we got to get rid of the pleasantries. If you're in the chat room now, you say, wee! If you're not in the chat room, there's not a damn thing I can do about that. And they're telling me it rises in the East, sets in the West. Okay, so rises in the East. Yes, I know that. Yes. Who's in the chat room right now? I see Mediocre Lewis. I see Michoud. Who else is in there? There's a Det Morales in there. Hello there, Det. Who else is in there? I see Andrew. Who else? I saw Quentin. I know Quentin's in there. There he is. Whee! I see Gills. I saw Jamel. I know Jamel. There's Jamel. Whee! I see Jama. I see who else is in there. Come on, you want to let yourself be known right now. You're not doing anything on a Friday night. You can't go anywhere. Come on. Oh, well. All right. Predictions. 7 matches slated on the card for the horror show at Extreme Rules. To help us with these, the sources today, because I know Michoud is going to be asking me what the sources are, we decided to, before I go into that, sexy hunk of man meat Lewis is in the chat room. Wee! The Friday night sources. Professional wrestling news sites have sources. They always say that their sources tell them that this was supposed to happen, or that this was actually going to happen. F4W Online and Dark Overlord Meltzer say this is per sources. Their sources are weak and watered down. Us at Wrestleview, our sources are crisp and poignant, to the point. Especially on this show, where my sources, we've been dipping into a lot of craft brew, but you know what? On a Friday, it's time to break out the good stuff. So we're sipping on Captain Coke. We're sipping on Captain Coke. We always do a double shot in the tall boy, so that's what we're doing right there. Det Morales asking if Vince McMahon is running the shows. Does it really matter? Does it really matter? Deepy's a huge fan in the Wrestleview. Wee! Hello there, Deep. All right. Sources. It's the Captain Coke is what we're doing. I've got a fresh batch here. To put in there once we get running low. 7 matches on the card for the horror show at Extreme Rules. 4 of those matches are going to be locks. Doug, what do you mean by locks? Well, whenever we make predictions here on Wrestleview Weekly, as is any professional wrestling podcast, they all make predictions on stuff, but when they're wrong, they never hold their feet to the fire. You know, it's like they just shrug it off as if nothing happened, but not here. On Wrestleview Weekly, whenever we make predictions, and if we feel very confident in said predictions, we will lock them. What does it mean by lock? Well, if I get locked prediction wrong, I have to pay the price. I've got to pay a penalty of some kind because I hold myself responsible for making my horrible choices in life. And what happens whenever a locked prediction is wrong, we take a shot of the Luna Azul Blanco tequila. Oh, yes. Fresh bottle of this horrid stuff. I might up the ante and I might do 5 locks for this show because I'm feeling very, very confident in this pay-per-view and predicting it. But now we'll probably stick with 4. Andrew's telling me there is not going to be a bar fight. There should still be a bar fight. At least I should think we are still doing that. Doug Lackey doing stuff on the fly. Professionalism. Let's go to the premiere shows. Horror Show at Extreme Rules on the WWE.coms. Let's do a preview. Let's look at the previews of the matches. I do not see it on the card just yet. So, no. I do have 7 matches that are on the card for us. Looks like the bar fight, looks like Jamel's got it right. The bar fight's going to be moved to SmackDown next week, so that's fine. But shoot, 4.5 locks? I don't do half locks. No, I don't do half-ass. I don't do that. Mediocre Lewis, how does my girlfriend like tequila straight up? She's not really a fan of straight up liquor. She doesn't really drink a lot of liquor, mixed drinks, to tell you the truth. Few and far in between. She prefers either straight up beer or wine. Whenever she drinks any kind of alcohol, like straight alcohol or anything, she does this little, whenever she takes it. And it's kind of weird. For me, I prefer the straight up sauce, to tell you the truth. Doug always uses his whole ass for... You're right. I use my whole ass for predictions. I don't go half ass. Hell no, son. So, 7 matches slated on the card for Extreme Rules. You guys want to talk about the Blue Show a little bit? Could talk about the Blue Show a little bit, I guess. Let me go on over here. I want to double check and make sure that Roy... Did Roy put up a poll for the thing? As you can see, I really prepared for this show. I will I'll go ahead and let you guys know too. Let me see. Some of the dates are going to be wrong on the milk carton because I was in a rush to get this thing ready to go. So, yeah. All right. Let's talk about the Blue Show. Instead of going by, so I feel that it's better that we use the graphics. I feel like it's better if we use, pictures and graphics and stuff to talk about the Blue Show. I'm scrolling right down on the WWE.com Twitter feed. This, tonight's SmackDown seemed to be okay, The one thing I do like about SmackDown is that it is the most basic of WWE shows. It's very easy to digest. You should not expect a whole lot, especially with us being in the Performance Center all the time. So you shouldn't really be... how do I put this? It's not half-assed, but it's not too contrived, I guess is the best way to put it. And... as any SmackDown show goes, it went at a very good pace, And it's always great every week to see Corey Graves bombarded by New Day's ring gear. I love this thing that they're doing now. I absolutely love this. I think it's great. Okay. And they keep it on camera, and they always have a go to commercial after Corey gets pelted. You know, I love it. Absolutely love it. If just one time that they could really pelt him with other things, it'd be even better. You know, like, they don't do the pancakes anymore. Spiky Nerf ball. No more pancakes. No more pancakes. Kind of notice that? Yeah, they've kind of ditched that. So, yeah. The reason New Day is pelting Corey Graves with their coats is not because they just don't like him. Well, they don't like him. But we got a match of Big E versus Cesaro. This leading up to their tables match or steel cage match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It will be Kofi Kingston and Big E defending against Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. You know, the talk, I want to say, for the past, the talk has been going on for nearly 5 months, probably the entire year, about how everyone thinks that Big E deserves a singles run. Big E should get a singles run of some kind. By the way, Cesaro won the match against Big E. There'd be shenanigans afterwards. But all the talk has been about Big E should get a singles run of some kind. But what's odd to me is that after watching this match, why aren't we saying the same thing about Cesaro? Is it because we gave so many singles runs to Cesaro that we aren't going to give it? We just can't give it to him now? We've already tapped that well. Big E, I mean, come on. Big E in his singles runs, he won titles, you know. But is it just because he should get a title run? He should get a singles run now because he's just been so established with the New Day? My concern with that talk of Big E getting a singles run is, what are we going to do with Kofi then? Kofi just going to hang out on the outside? I don't know. I don't really understand, I guess is my thing. I'm not here to argue that Big E should not get a singles run. I'm not here to argue against that. I'm just saying if that's what we're going to do, two things. First off, can Kofi Kingston survive not doing anything? Well, I guess so. I mean, Kofi does need a break. And after I was doing my Ages project and everything, hey, Doug, how old is Kofi Kingston? I'm glad you asked. Kofi Kingston, where are you on my spreadsheet? Kofi Kingston, oh, he's 38 years old. Yeah. Kofi Kingston, a bright 38 years old. Yeah, he's not a spring chicken either, so maybe he can, hang around on the outside, I guess. But still, okay, so we're going to sacrifice him. What about when Xavier Woods comes back? What about when Xavier Woods comes back from injury? Are we just going to have him tooting on the trombone still? We still going to have that? I guess. How are we going to get Big E during the singles run? How are we going to build him up? Oh, we're going to give him AJ Styles. No, it's not that simple. You got to have matches and programs and stuff to build him up in the singles run. That's what they did with Kofi Kingston, building him up into WrestleMania. They put him in Elimination Chamber. They gave him this incredible program of the powers that be are against him. You're not going to get that with Big E. Big E is, I believe, 34 years old. Is that how old he is? Big E, what are you, 34? Yeah, Big E, 34 years old. You can't be pulling this hole. He's been in the WWE for 11 years. So how are we doing this? You're going to pit him up against, say, Karen Borbin? No, Karen Borbin's bigger than that. How do you do this? You have him go against Cesaro? Well, he just did, and he lost. You have him go against Shinsuke Nakamura? Well, no, because they're all part of this program right now. So what are we doing here? You're going to have him against Drew Gulak? Daniel Bryan? Matt Riddle? No, you're not going to do the face against face thing. So the argument, I totally understand why everyone says that Big E should get a singles run. Totally understand it. The problem is it's way too difficult to do it right now. It's way, way too difficult. SmackDown mid-card does not look any promising for a new guy to move from the mid-card to the main. Hayden Barker in the chat room going, wee! Bray Wyatt? No, too big. See, that's the thing. Right now, there are problems with the WWE roster that we will tap in at some point in time. And that problem really is with gatekeepers. And the gatekeepers that they've got right now, they haven't quite established yet as gatekeepers. And it's hard to have gatekeepers when you don't have a live crowd to confirm or verify what you're trying to accomplish. Any kind of moving up within a card from low to mid to high, it ain't happening right now. And it's not going to happen for a very long time. We aren't going to see live crowds for, gosh, not until next year. So, this is the show we got. These are the characters that we're working with. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And what's more is, so you're going to have Cesaro and Nakamura with the titles. What are you going to do with them after that? We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll get to that in a little bit. What else happened on this show? Oh, yeah, they broke out tables and they tried to do things, but Kofi had none of it. Oh, shit. I got to do something here, don't I? They're trying to bring out a table and everything. They're trying to prove a point. Whee! But Kofi says, no, I got a point to prove to you. I want to have fun with the table. Whee! I don't want you to have fun with the tables. I'm going to have fun with this table. No, you put that, whee! You put that down right now. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah. So yeah, after the match, Cesaro and Nakamura. God, I love that picture. I look at Nakamura. God, he's just a happy son of a gun. Look at him. So they announced that their tag team title match is going to be a tables match. So there you go. Dear God, look at man Nakamura, Shinsuke Nakamura. He's a spunky bowl of noodles. All right, moment of bliss. There was going to be a special guest, an incredible special guest for Moment of Bliss. And man, were the rumors running rampant. Everyone from Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet to Sean Sapp from Fightful. Everyone throwing them out there. Who you think it's going to be? Is it going to be Mickie James coming back to wrestling? Is it going to be... Oh, gosh, they've been talking about Evolution all the time. Oh, gosh, this is the 5th year anniversary of Evolution. They're going to bring back Stephanie McMahon, and they're going to announce another Evolution pay-per-view. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Yeah. It's going to be Stephanie McMahon. Mediocre Lewis telling me thanks for talking about SmackDown since he's on the West Coast and I'm spoiling the whole show for him. Well, yeah, hey, anything to help you out. Everyone was hyped up thinking it was Stephanie McMahon. And I'm going to be talking about Evolution 2 or something like that. No, you're getting none of that because Karen and Sasha are going to come out and interrupt you. And then Asuka's going to come out and interrupt them. And then we're going to get a big old schmaz. You ain't getting jack or shit. Instead, what you're going to get is a Teddy Long special.
If all four of you want to mix it up, then we going to do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
I don't think you heard that. Hold on here. I'm going to make sure that you get that. Let's try that again. Because you guys need to hear what Teddy's got to say.
Now, if all four of you want to mix it up, then we're going to do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
Yep, Teddy Long special. Everyone has a schmaz. Nope, you get in the ring and you're going to have yourselves a tag team match. You know, I'm noticing, I just can't help it, but it's professionalism right here. I got to tell you. It's been a rough day. We'll go ahead and say it that way. So we're going to have ourselves a tag team match. Asuka with Nikki Cross facing off against Karen and Sasha with Alexa Bliss at ringside. Things would happen during this match. Things would happen. Lots of things. I'm not saying we. Yeah, and then Asuka and Nikki dancing on the thing to go into commercial. Karen and Sasha would win the match, causing Nikki to be kind of disappointed about it. Why are we showing Daniel Bryan here? Well, he's at home in Washington, and he recorded a little thing here saying that he thought Matt Riddle and AJ Styles were going to have a Nito Kino swell match. And they sure did. Nikki Cross doing the stuff, doing the monkey flips and the things. Yeah, but your winners would be Karen and Sasha in that match. Firefly Funhouse. No, it's not necessarily a Firefly Funhouse. Instead, we're at the Swamp. Bray Wyatt. That's right. We love these old Bray Wyatt promos just full of jump cuts and stuff. Jump cuts into eerie nature scenes like snakes and bugs and stuff. Oh, by the way, Bray Wyatt in a swamp. It doesn't matter what he's doing. Bray Wyatt off the milk carton. We hadn't seen Bray Wyatt since June the 19th, where he had a Firefly Funhouse segment. So there you go. Oh, by the way, also got to mention it. On Monday Night Raw, Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler off the milk carton. We hadn't seen Shayna Baszler since, God, I want to say it was April? We hadn't seen her in nearly 8-9 weeks. I know it's well after WrestleMania. It was around about the time that Becky Lynch announced she had a tiny human in her tum-tum. Bianca Belair, this is only the third time we've seen her on camera since she debuted on the Raw roster, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania. Finally, Bianca Belair is out there. At the expense of Liv Morgan, no less, in a program with Ruby Wyatt. Yes. Oh, also, from NXT a couple of days ago, Double D, Dominic Dijakovic, off the milk carton. We hadn't seen him since he had a match against Johnny Gargano about 6-7 weeks ago, confirming that Johnny Gargano was a heel. Everyone's saying that Double D is now supposed to be on Monday Night Raw. Well, it ain't looking like that, because he's now going to have himself a program with Karrion Kross. Yes, Karrion Kross is looking at Keith Lee, but first we got Double D and Karrion Kross. That's what we're going to have. John Morrison versus Braun Strowman would be a match with The Miz at ringside. Braun's changed. He's grown out his hair a little bit, even though he's got that horrid receding hairline going up on top. Brand new Titantron doing the Strowman Express and everything, but he has been given excessive microphone time. And holy hell, I wish that I could play Braun Strowman's promo on here, because first off, the man, he is just quintessential professional wrestler promo. Yelling, screaming, guttural, visceral. Just sounds like I'm just going to kick your ass. Ah! Man, quintessential professional wrestler promo delivery. Kind of sounds like sometimes he's running out of breath with how excited he gets, but he's got himself a set of pipes. Okay? Man, even when he's not on a mic, reminds me a lot of Mark Henry. Okay, the pipes that he has. Mark Henry was fabulous at talking in the ring. Like, man, when you heard him in the ring, you could hear him, and he was great. Same thing with Strowman. Right now, Strowman is tapping into some late 80s, mid 80s, late 80s professional wrestling. It's kind of reminding me of the episode of Ren and Stimpy, where in the professional wrestling cartoon of Ren and Stimpy, where after the match they the wrestlers threw the match, and the wrestlers go like, "We louts are angry, we are sore." That's kind of what it reminds me of. The many faces of Strowman. The many faces of Strowman. He's angry. He's weary. He's happy. He's mega happy. Oh. John Morrison would get annihilated in this match. During this match, I think he was taking a clothesline, and he decided to try to do a flip sell, and did not land very nicely. You ought to check this match out just for that. The flip sell that Morrison tries to do did not turn out very well. He didn't need to do a flip sell for Strowman. When you are selling for Strowman, just bump. Just bump. Okay, he's going to force you to bump. You don't need to add anything extra to it. Okay, you really don't. You're going to Beal, just lightly jump and he'll heave you. Okay, you don't need to give a full jump. So, yeah, let the big man do the big man stuff. You don't need to give him anything extra. Okay, you'll only hurt yourself in the process. We get Lacey Evans versus Naomi. Why did this match happen? Well, apparently they had a karaoke contest last week, and now Lacey Evans is a heel because of it. In this little spot here, Lacey Evans would tie Naomi's hair up in the ring ropes. Then Naomi would untie herself, and then Lacey Decker with the women's right, and there you go. Lacey Evans is approaching Big Show swerve territory here. Okay. I don't know how many swerves she's going to have in her career, but I got a feeling it's going to match up to Big Show's. She's going to have a lot of them. I'm going to tell you, Naomi should not be apologizing for this. Yeah, she apologized for the karaoke segment last week, apparently. She thought it was not very good. But she has nothing to do with that. It was written for her to do. Okay? But if you can't perform it well, then it is your fault. This match, though, showed a lot of why Naomi has not been on television. She had coming out of Royal Rumble, she was molten lava hot. Okay? But then something happened. I don't know what. All that I know is in this match, I keep on describing NXT women's matches, and I'll describe them also with WWE women's matches. It feels like you're watching a 1080p YouTube video on a 56.6K modem. Okay, the women stutter, they're buffering, they aren't running as fast. It's not as, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not believable at all. I'm running, okay, and now we're set. Okay, I'm set. The timing was incredibly off. I really don't know what they're doing here. I really don't. I would not be shocked if Naomi ends up on the milk carton again. Doug, what is the WWE milk carton? You keep mentioning this. You'll find out what it is in a little bit. Lacey Evans on top of that. There was one set spot in here with Naomi to where the only thing that I can describe that she did was she came off the ropes and did splits landing on Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans' tummy. All that I can really tell you is that Naomi's new spot is a vagina splash, where she just splits her legs and decides to cave in her opponent's midsection with her vagina. That is what it is. I just explained what the move is, okay? I am not trying to be chauvinistic or anything. That is what it is, okay? Jeff Hardy would try to say words to Kayla having an interview.
Hey, Kayla!
And Sheamus would come over and beat him up. So, yeah. They're going to have a match next week. There you go. Yes, I know Naomi had a thing. Yes, we know she had a thing. Karen and Sasha would say more words to Kayla.
Hey, Kayla!
Yeah. Say more words and gloat and everything. Is this what we're doing with the women now? Is that we have no faith in our entire women's roster. So, starting at WrestleMania, we're going to have Charlotte be on all three programs, SmackDown, Raw, NXT. We're going to have Charlotte be on all three programs for a 6 to 7 week span. And then after that, we're going to have Karen and Sasha on every program. Let's throw Asuka in there. We'll have Asuka in every single show. Is this what they're doing now with the women? That the women are just going to be on every show? The good ones? Yeah, we aren't going to see Dana Brooke or Carmella, Natalya. Finally got to see Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler after about 7 weeks. Or some 9 or 10. So, I find it incredibly disingenuous that we are talking about how great the Women's Evolution pay-per-view thingy was 5 years ago. Was it 5 years? No, 5 years ago was when the Evolution of Women's Wrestling, WWE, started. I love how they're talking about how it's been 5 years since the Evolution has happened, but we're only showing 4 or 5 women. Even though we have a roster that is 5 times that amount. You'll find out who all of those are in the WWE Milk Carton segment. Nikki Cross is not happy that she lost, and she goes over to beat up Sasha and Karen. Finally, AJ Styles, Matt Riddle. That was kind of funny. Matt Riddle making fun of AJ Styles. This was not bad of a match. I was worried that it was going to get way too no-selly for me. Matt Riddle matches tend to be like that. Matt Riddle matches seem to be big moves, then you kick out. The kickouts are not very convincing. But when it comes to counter for counter, AJ Styles and Matt Riddle did a fantastic job. This is not that bad of a match. This was a match to establish Matt Riddle, and it did so. That was the point, and it did so. After the match, Karen Corbin came out and beat the crap out of Matt Riddle. So, there you go. Yes, here we go. Yes, God, I hate handshakes. Thank you, Karen Corbin. I hate handshakes so much. I hate them. I hate handshakes. Fuck handshakes. I want honor and respect. I want violence. I want conflict. And I want resolution to those conflicts through violence. Yeah, that's what I want. I would show a poll of what everyone thought about the show, but frankly, I don't care what anyone thinks right now. No offense. I care about what you people in the chat room think, though. Sources. And I kind of wanted to fly through the show a little bit because we got more important things to talk about. Holy crap, my icing's melting. All right. Dump that ice in there because we're going to be filling up soon. All right, get to the news. I got to talk about some news here. Okay, so it's been kind of a light news week. So far, it's only been 5 days, sure. But light news week, got some spiky Nerf ball news. And also, again, I was told that the sun rises in the east. Let's start this week off with a bang. Yesterday, all over the Twitters, rumors running rampant that Billy Corgan was going to shut down NWA. This apparently came on the heels of an interview that Raven gave, but we'll get into that in a little bit. NWA President Billy Corgan issued the following statement on Twitter regarding rumors that he was shutting the promotion down. This is his tweet. Quote, "A quick note about the National Wrestling Alliance, which I fought for and won ownership of a few years back. We are not shutting down. So please disregard any and all rumor to effect. The NWA is not and will not be for sale, and those talent who are under contract remain under contract for a reason, which is what we at the NWA are trying to figure out, a way to provide our great fans with wrestling content in a very, very tough environment. And most importantly, keep our talent safe and the standard of production you've come to expect from us at a high level. Anything less, in my opinion, is unacceptable. So yes, appreciate the interest, appreciate the chatter, but don't appreciate the unsourced rumors and speculation." This response from Corgan came after former guy, Raven, appeared on a recent episode of another show called Hannibal TV. Claiming that he, quote, "heard through the grapevine that Billy is not opening it back up and he's disillusioned," end quote. This also comes at the heels of last month where David Lagana resigned as vice president of NWA amidst allegations and claims through the Speaking Out movement, which now caused the entire NWA to have to reshuffle their entire management positions, their entire hierarchy. Which really just shows me the NWA was not really structured well. This is not a question about can they put on a good show. It's about they're structurally unsound, is what it is. Speaking of the NWA, former NWA US Tag Team Champ Bobby Fulton announced his retirement from wrestling. I think he's probably done this at least 7 times. I'm not sure. Bobby Fulton, one half of the former NWA Tag Team, the Fantastics with Tommy Rogers, has officially announced his retirement from pro wrestling. He made the announcement on his Facebook page yesterday. Said, "Today is the anniversary of my friend Bruiser Brody's death. The other day, my son's pastor announced he was going to retire. The other day, I looked at a photo of my son and I last year at Tecumseh when I was healthy. Today, I announce I am retired from professional wrestling. I'm no longer going to do independent events. There's been a lot of contributing factors, but thank you to you all for your support over the years. Who knows, I may drop in to see some old friends one day. I appreciate all of your support." It was just last December that Bobby Fulton was diagnosed with throat cancer. Still, he tried to perform dates. Back in June, Fulton had he had gotten rid of most of the cancer, but he said that God truly blessed him for that. So, yeah, good for him. I'm glad it's gone, but Bobby, you should not be in the ring now. So, we may see him back in the ring next year. News on the spiking Nerf ball front. Since we knew Lana's parents tested positive for COVID-19, you would imagine that also her husband, Rusev, would be diagnosed with it as well. former WWE superstar Rusev, also known as Miroslav Bardajashevich, announced during his Twitch stream that he had tested positive for COVID-19 after being initially told that the test was negative. No, just say you're positive, okay? Lana provided an update on her parents' conditions last week, but didn't say anything about her husband. Rusev was released last April from the WWE due to budget cuts related to the pandemic. He's been continued to be, Rusev is being teased in the latest Impact Wrestling Slammiversary video promo. However, the pay-per-view next Saturday, it's unlikely that he's going to be making his debut because Spiky Nerf Ball got a hold of him. Speaking of Spiky Nerf Ball getting a hold, WWE initiated a mask-wearing policy accompanied with fines if you do not follow that mask policy. According to Kevin Owens, this was his idea. In a recent interview with Sports Illustrated, Kevin Owens stated that the idea of imposing fines for noncompliance with WWE's face mask policy was his idea. Quote, "It's been brought up. At first, the masks weren't being taken seriously enough. Eventually, a fine system was implemented to make sure people took it seriously. Well, that came from me. I thought that the masks weren't being worn seriously enough, so I went and talked to the people in charge. They immediately did what they could to remedy the situation." Yeah. So there you go. I got no problem with Kevin Owens, dude. If you haven't been looking at his, checking his Twitter feed, he is the voice of reason right now. The WWE's voice of reason when it comes to COVID-19. And you know, it kind of, and I'm right now filling up my sources here. We're dumping in the shot. It strikes me how AEW is pretty open in talking about COVID-19 and the coronavirus and everything on their show. WWE hasn't mentioned word one about it. They haven't mentioned it at all. They've been as ambiguous as possible talking about Spiky Nerf Ball. They haven't mentioned it at all because apparently they don't want that to be a focal point of the show. Is their thing. They don't want that to be a part of the show because once you mention something, it becomes part of the show. AEW mentions it. It's part of their show. Mention it openly. Johnny Moxley. You know, his wife coming down with COVID. He can't show up for the show, so they make that part of the storyline. They have made COVID-19 part of their show. Is it for the better or for the worse? I don't know. What I think is for the worse in AEW right now is everyone uncorking destroyers on each other left and right for no reason whatsoever. That's what I think is wrong with AEW. But right now, as far as COVID talk goes, you'll never hear the word COVID or 19 or coronavirus ever mentioned on a WWE program. It will not happen. All right. File this under the header. What else is new? WWE Hall of Famer Tammy Sytch was arrested on multiple charges while on probation this week. According to a report by P-Dub Insider, and it's not really a report, it's public knowledge, Tammy Sytch, known as Sunny, was arrested last Monday morning this week, being processed at the Monmouth County Correctional Institute. Charges include eluding a police officer, contempt to violate a domestic violence restraining order, operating a motor vehicle during her second license suspension. Sytch is currently out on parole after being released from Carbon County Prison earlier this year. An arrest on multiple counts while being out on parole is problematic for her, but it is unclear what steps the court will take with her. Hold on. I gotta fix something. I've got to fix something here. Look, I get it. Sunny was a hot thing to look at back then. I totally get it. And I totally understand that if you got to have a younger picture of her with her name and what's going on for it to get people's eyeballs. I totally get it. But the lady's 48 years old now. Okay? We need to stop thinking that she looks like she is less than half her age. Look, I know she was a hot little thing 25 years ago. Okay? We all agree with that. Whether she was good in wrestling and whatnot, I don't know. That's kind of irrelevant. But that's not what she looks like now. I think we need to, hold on. There we go. That's better. That's much better. Still think she's hot now? You want to check on her Twitter feed, it's been silent for the past week. You check out her Twitter feed, it's full of nothing but advertisements for her OnlyFans page. You'll see some picture. Why? I forget when I saw her over at WWE Access on WrestleMania weekend for WrestleMania 28 over in Miami, and that was the year that she was inducted into the Hall of Fame. Oh boy. She's a hot mess. Absolute hot mess. She also had tweets going out, just, oh God, yeah. If you wanna feel better about yourself, check out her Twitter account. WWE content is going to be airing on NBC Universal's new Peacock streaming service. Peacock is going to be basically, oh God, get Sonny off of my Peacock. Ew. That didn't come out right, did it? Ew! Stop it! No! God, I'm making it worse! WWE stuff is going to be on NBC Universal's streaming thing. Their free streaming thing. A streaming service run by people who hate streaming. Is what it is. What content is going to be on there? Who the heck knows? It's free to watch, but you're going to get commercials. You don't want commercials? Well, you're going to have to pay for it. Premium tier with ads will cost $5 a month. You don't want the ads? That's $10 a month. This is what the WWE is looking at doing. This is what the WWE is looking at doing. It's been like that from the start. Finally, good news, I guess. Alexa Bliss announced earlier this week that she has joined the video sharing platform Cameo. What is Cameo? Cameo is basically give me money and I do a personal video just for you. That's what it is. Oh, by the way, you know who else is on Cameo? Hold on here. She is. So, yeah, I don't know if, yeah. So, look, I get you, Alexa, that you want to, it's great that you're on Cameo and everything, but there are other people who have been on Cameo. No. But no, I think it's cool that she's on Cameo, you know, giving, you know, nice little personalized messages and stuff. That's cool. And she's very inspirational. Okay, she has an incredible inspirational message to give out there to lots of young ladies who are battling anorexia and eating disorders. She is an inspiration to all of them, and I think that's great that she's doing that. And it's being done for the right reasons. Not the reasons that can land you in places that you don't want to be. Injury list. Let's go over the injury list of everyone who's got the boo-boos. Razar, torn bicep. He's not going to be out back until SummerSlam times. Becky Lynch has a tiny human in her tum-tum. She's not going to be back until WrestleMania times. Jinder Mahal reparative surgeries on the same knee that he ruptured his patella on. He's not going to be back until October. Edge, torn tricep. I don't have him coming back until WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair, we were just but given by the horse's mouth, Charlotte herself, why she is hurt. No, it's not Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss did not hurt her. No, Alexa Bliss did not hurt her. Where's the Charlotte story? Doug, where's the Charlotte story? You've got the Charlotte story, don't you? Yes, I do. I've got it sitting up right here. Please show it. There we go. Thank you. Charlotte would disclose the real reason why she was hurt and absent from the WWE, and it has nothing to do with her arm. To the dismay of PW Insider and F4W Online, this past June, it was revealed that Charlotte Flair was legitimately undergoing surgery after being written out of storylines by Nia Jax, like having a broken collarbone or something. But Flair took to social media to explain fully why she was absent from performing. Taking to Twitter while having her air conditioning repaired, as if, well, that's newsworthy. Flair went through her surgery and how she hopes telling her story will stop the body shaming she and others have experienced. Following WrestleMania 34 in 2018, Flair was at her brother's home and became very ill. The doctor said that one of her implants was leaking and had given her some of the worst silicone poisoning he had ever observed. She was given a few choices for surgery and picked the option that would allow her to return the quickest. Several months ago, the same issue cropped up again. Flair clarified that she does not have silicone poisoning this time around, but she is, quote, going with an option that I believe will solve the issue long term, even though the recovery period is a lot longer than I would like. This is cosmetic surgery to fix an issue with her previous surgery. So, back to the injury list. Charlotte Flair is undergoing cosmetic surgery. We're not sure what's going on, how long it's going to be. They were hoping SummerSlam, but it's going to look a lot longer than that. So right now, I'm putting Charlotte Flair at Survivor Series, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be as incredibly conservative as I can be with her surgery. Lars Sullivan destroyed MCL and PCL on his right knee. He has been out for 16 months. We have no idea when he's going to be coming back. Kalisto, forgot to have him on the list for a while. Thought he was going to be coming back, but he hasn't yet. He had a separated shoulder back in February. He should be coming back for SummerSlam times. Xavier Woods, torn Achilles, going through rehab. He'll be back in SummerSlam times. Ember Moon, I need to adjust on here, also had a torn Achilles, but hers is way more severe than Xavier Woods's. She may be done. Her career may be over, but we're waiting to hear word when she could be coming back. If she is coming back, it's not going to be until Royal Rumble. Jimmy Uso, reparative surgery on his right knee. He's not going to be back until Survivor Series. Elias, third injury in the last 2 years, torn boob. He's got a torn pectoral muscle. He's not going to be back until WrestleMania. Boa, torn rotator cuff and labrum. He's the male Chinese performer for NXT. He won't be back until SummerSlam times. Jasmine Duke, reparative surgery on both elbows. She won't be back until SummerSlam times. But for now, she is in the crowd cheering everyone on. And that is everyone that is hurt. What about the people who aren't hurt? What about the people who are perfectly healthy? What about the people who haven't been on WWE television or pay-per-view for, say, 3 weeks? They end up on a very special list. A smish, something that I have been compiling, preserving, updating, maintaining for a very long time. Or at least until this show's been going on. It's the only thing that I know that the WWE does pay attention to, that I pay attention to very meticulously. You should as well, so you don't get shocked by it when it does happen. It's the WWE milk carton. I don't know why I'm here. It's Friday, not Sunday. What's going on? Damn. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I forgot to add who I was just editing on here. Pardon me. Pardon me. You guys can look at Casey Catanzaro for a little bit because she's got a cute little smile. Oh, let me add a couple of people here. And that date is wrong on her as well. Excuse me here. This will not take long. No, not you. Not you. No, not you. You. I add you two. And then I'm going to bring you two up to the top, so that you can see what I'm talking about. This is a very long milk carton, ladies and gentlemen, so prepare yourself, okay? Here we go. Let's start things off with Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado. We haven't seen them since the June 26th episode of SmackDown, where I believe they were just in a big ol' 8-man tag schmoz that we always like to call the Teddy Long Special.
Now, if all four of you want to mix it up, then we going to do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
Yep, whenever you got people having problems, you just put them in a tag team match. That's what you're supposed to do. Casey Catanzaro, it's actually, we haven't seen her since the June 24th episode of NXT, where she teamed up with Caden Carter to square off against Dakota Kai and her best bud, Raquel Gonzalez. The purpose of that tag team match was to push up Dakota Kai so that she could go after Io Shirai for the NXT Women's title. But we haven't seen any of these other three women since that match. Eh? What? We put three other women to try to push just one. You couldn't just have a singles match to push Dakota? You couldn't? You had to involve all these three others? Now they're all just pushed off to the side. We got nothing going on with them now. Indus Share, you ain't seeing them for a while. They were last seen on that June 24th episode of NXT in a monologue of some kind. I think they were looking to go against Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch after they involved themselves in an NXT tag team title match where it was Breezango versus Imperium or something like that. Indus Share, you're not going to see them for a while, especially after Saurov spoiled the result of Keith Lee's double title match on Instagram. You're not going to see them for a while, which means you're not going to see Malcolm Bivens either, and I don't know what the fuck he is. What is this guy? What is he? I have no idea who this guy is. Someone help me out. He had a lot of funny stuff on the Twitter before he showed up on the regular on NXT. I don't know what he is. I know I shouldn't really care because it's been 3 weeks since I've seen him. Long time no see. Long time no see for the one and only Fons Balor. I haven't seen him since the June 24th episode of NXT where he was in a triple threat match for the North American title that would determine who would face off against Adam Cole for the winner-take-all match. I believe it was him, Johnny Gargano, and Keith Lee. That's who it was. The Fonz right now is on vacation. Check out his Twitter feed. Lots of beach pics to make you jealous. But he's been on vacation. Yeah. He's been on vacation. He's loving life. So, yeah, that's what he's been doing. Well, We haven't seen, the last time we hadn't seen you in a while was because you were hurt and you were having reparative surgery on both knees and you got back from that. But now it's been 3 weeks and we haven't seen Nia Jax, the waifu destroyer. We haven't seen her, when haven't we seen her? We haven't seen her since she interfered in a match between Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Apparently, we are not getting Asuka versus Nia Jax because Nia Jax was beating up Charlotte Flair and caused Charlotte Flair's collarbone to not break. But because of that, we have written off Nia Jax as well. So let me get this straight. We went through all this effort to write Charlotte Flair off of television so that she can have her surgery and everything can be a-okay with her. But we have not taken advantage of it by showing Nia Jax, the one who put her on the shelf. What are we doing here? What are we doing? This makes no sense. Jamel asks the hard-hit questions, though. Is Charlotte a waifu? You know, some people do consider Charlotte attractive, though she's taken by Andrade. But waifus, I believe one of the key characteristics about if someone is a waifu, they must be under 5'8". Austin Theory. Haven't seen him since that June 22nd episode of Monday Night Raw, where he took part in some kind of segment that involved Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins. Don't know why he hasn't been on TV. Seth Rollins is on TV. Murphy is on TV. Why isn't Austin Theory on TV? Don't know if he's hurt. Don't know if something's wrong. He's the youngest member of the entire main roster at the ripe age of 22. Don't know what's going on. This is a curious case. Liv Morgan, haven't seen her since that same episode of Monday Night Raw where she was beaten by Natalya and then made fun of by the Iconics backstage. We haven't seen her for 3 weeks. You would think that she would be the mystery partner of Wooby Wyatt's in order to battle the Iconics, but nope, it was Bianca Belair. So, what are we doing here? Looks like Liv Morgan is going to be beating up someone and losing again. Why? I don't know. But Natalya hasn't been on TV either. Women's Revolution. Shelton Benjamin, haven't seen him since that same episode on June the 22nd where, what did he have a match against Apollo Crews to confirm that Apollo Crews was a fighting champion and stuff like that. He is the essential gatekeeper. He can be a gatekeeper for Monday Night Raw as long as he's on television. Lana hasn't been on TV since that same episode, June 22nd. We understand. We know why. But the Street Profits haven't been on television either since that episode on June the 22nd. And that's because Angelo Dawkins introduced a new tiny human into this world. So, yeah, that's why they aren't on TV, and that's perfectly fine. But this needs to be explained to me. It has been since June the 19th, 4 weeks, since we have seen all 4 members of what is probably one of the best written programs on SmackDown. I'm talking about Otis, Mandy Rose, Tucker, and Sonya Deville. I believe that they all fell victim to the WWE's mishandling of Spiky Nerf Ball. Because of their mishandling of Spiky Nerf Ball and infections running there, they had to cut short tapings for SmackDown, which is why on a couple of episodes of SmackDown, you saw that they replayed some pay-per-view matches. Well, instead of replaying those pay-per-view matches, they could have had this program continue. But no. We had to have a karaoke segment. What is going on? Mojo Rawley, we haven't seen him since the June 19th episode of SmackDown, where he had a match against, he had a match against Shorty G in order to confirm that Shorty G was a thing, but Shorty G hasn't been on TV either. He's not on my list. I got messed up. I kind of skipped through some there. I'm sorry. Danny Burch, we hadn't seen him since that whole run-in that happened on June the 17th involving Breezango, Imperium, Oni Lorcan, Danny Burch, and Indus Sher. Xia Li, we haven't seen her since the June 17th episode of NXT, where she had a match against Aaliyah. That was the Robert Stone projectile vomit match. Tomato Chomper, haven't seen him since NXT TakeOver in Your House, where he was defeated by Karrion Kross. It's just taking a break. That's all. Forgotten Sons are really fucking forgotten. We haven't seen them since May 29th episode of SmackDown, where they said a monologue and gave some weird wacky salute. The reason we haven't seen them on TV is 2 days after the horrifying and disgusting death of George Floyd, 2 days after that, Jackson Riker took to the Twitter to praise Donald Trump. Yeah, you're not going to get back on TV for a while. Chelsea Green, haven't seen her since the May 27th episode of NXT, where she teamed up with Charlotte Flair to defeat Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. After this match, Chelsea Green would fire Robert Stone as her manager, but ironically, since that firing, Robert Stone has been on television every single week, and Chelsea Green has been nowhere to be found. This was rumored to be the guest on Alexa Bliss's Moment of Bliss segment that happened tonight. Yeah, it's the debut of Chelsea Green at the go-home show of a pay-per-view. For fuck's sake. Kushida, haven't seen him since that May 27th episode of NXT, where he was involved in the triple threat match to determine the number one contender for the Little Critter interim title. It was between him, Jake Atlas, and Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick would end up winning that match. In the past, if you lost a match to Kushida, you were abducted by Los Conquistadores and thrown into an SUV. But what happens if you're Kushida and you lose a match? I don't know. Maybe you're abducted by Kai and Tai and thrown into a Subaru. I don't know. Shane Thorne. Haven't seen this guy since May the 11th, where he took part in a little 6-man tag team match of some kind. I don't know if it was a 6-man tag. I just know that it was something involving him, some guy with the last name of Vink, squaring off against Cedric Alexander and Richard O'Shea. Guess is as good as mine. Carmella. Haven't seen her since the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match on May the 10th. She is busy making podcasts with her new boy toy, Corey Graves, and I think she's got too much anxiety to even want to step into a ring. Titus O'Neil. Haven't seen him since the May 4th episode of Monday Night Raw, where they had a gauntlet match to determine the final participant in the Men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It doesn't matter what this guy has done in the ring because he's too busy saving the city of Tampa, Florida. Everyone is housed, clothed, fed, educated, working. The guy, I don't want to move to Tampa right now. I'm not going to move to Tampa until probably November or December. I don't want to be anywhere near Florida right now, though. Pete Dunne. Haven't seen him since the April 15th episode of NXT, where he appeared on a giant television screen to let Matt Riddle know that he could not make it across the pond to help him defend the NXT Tag Team titles. Instead, he issued Timothy Thatcher a job and do that for him. Since then, they don't have the NXT Tag Team titles anymore. Timothy Thatcher is doing some kind of weird shoot wrestling shit on NXT. Matt Riddle's on SmackDown, and Pete Dunne is stuck across the pond trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with everyone in the speaking out movement. Bork Laser, haven't seen him since night 2 of WrestleMania on April the 5th, where he lost the WWE title to Drew McIntyre. We're not going to see Bork Laser until live audiences return. Sami Zayn, haven't seen him since night 1 of WrestleMania on April the 4th, where he defended his Intercontinental title against Daniel Bryan and was successful. Since then, Sami Zayn has been stranded across the border in Canada. No way in hell is he coming back, and he's having way too much fun being politically opinionated on the Twitter. Riddick Moss, haven't seen him since March 23rd episode of Monday Night Raw, where he was jogging through middle-class white suburbia and then got rolled up by R-Truth to lose the 24/7 title. We haven't seen him since then. Apparently, he's still lost in middle-class white suburbia. I am sure a horny middle-aged wife has taken him in, made him her pet, and he's eating fancy feast out of a crystal dish right now. Roman Reigns. Burden, 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 burden. Haven't seen him since the March 20th episode of SmackDown, where he and Goldberg signed a contract to square off for the Universal title at WrestleMania. That match never happened. Also, he's too busy spending time with his children, who were born 3 months ago. It can't be because he once had leukemia and he's more susceptible to spiky Nerf ball than anyone else on the roster. It couldn't be because of that. Grizzled young veterans, I am not going to go through the reasons that I've got a gripe with them even being on the main roster right now. I'm just saying that they are on the NXT roster, and they haven't been shown on television in 4 months. They are across the pond in the UK. They're going to be appearing again on NXT UK. So this was a stupid idea. AOP, even though Rezar is hurt, I'm counting them both. We haven't seen them since the March 9th episode of Monday Night Raw, where for 5 straight weeks we had nothing but Teddy Long specials.
Now, if all 4 of you want to mix it up, then we going to do it right. I'm going to make this a tag team match.
6-man tags, 8-man tags, you name it, they had it. It was against them, Viking Raiders, Seth Rollins and Murphy and Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. You name it, they had it. I give up. Robert Roode, haven't seen him since the March 8th Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, where he and Dolph Ziggler were trying to go after the SmackDown Tag Team titles in the humongous boggle cage, humongous game of trouble is what that was. Elimination Chamber looks like a giant pop-o-matic to me. Robert Roode is stranded in Canada, and he's also very old. Marina Shafir, haven't seen her since the March 4th episode of NXT, where she stuck a bamboo pole through a cage so that her hubby Roderick Strong could beat up Velveteen Dream with it. That didn't happen so well, and she's too busy being a happy mom. Mansoor, haven't seen him since the February 27th Super Showdown event out of Riyadh or Jeddah or Bismarck, South Dakota. We know that's where he's from because they never say the country of where he's from. He faced Dolph Ziggler in that thing, further confirming that Mansoor only performs when he's in his home country of South Dakota. I know he's on 205 Live that just followed SmackDown. I know. But we're talking the main roster here. NXT, SmackDown, and Raw. And Mansoor is on the NXT roster. Kona Reeves, haven't seen him since the February 19th episode of NXT where he was destroyed by Keith Lee in less than 25 seconds. Vanessa Bourne, haven't seen her since the January 15th episode of NXT where she took part in a battle royale of the Vagina Persuasion to figure out who would be the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT TakeOver Portland. I don't know what's going on with her. Take a sip of the sources. Because we're dipping into the 2019s. Mustafa Ali. Haven't seen him since December 27th of last year when he said inspirational shit. We don't know what he's doing. Rumored that this guy was supposed to be the hacker on SmackDown. And if he was part of the main roster, the hacker would be on the milk carton because he hasn't been seen in 7 weeks. Bo Dallas. Haven't seen him since the November 15th episode of SmackDown where him, Drew Gulak, and Curtis Axel were in the ring making fun of Braun Strowman going into Survivor Series. Since then, Curtis Axel is no longer with the WWE. Drew Gulak is enjoying a nice program being associated with Daniel Bryan, and Braun Strowman is the Universal Champion. Is he going to emerge from the swamp? Just say it. I'm sure the rumors are out there. He's going to emerge from the swamp, isn't he? He's going to be dressed up as an alligator. Finally, the stalwart, the WWE milk carton. 9 weeks. It will be 9 weeks until this man becomes the brand new Golden Gallon. What is a Golden Gallon? A Golden Gallon is a guy who is on the WWE main roster, completely healthy, but has not been on television or pay-per-view for a whole calendar year. 9 weeks until we have a brand new Golden Gallon. And that new Golden Gallon could be Arturo Ruas. Who? We haven't seen Arturo Ruas since episode of NXT on September the 18th of last year. The debut episode of NXT on the USA Network. We have not seen him since then. He had a match against Pete Dunn to confirm that Pete Dunn is a thing. Pete Dunn is a thing, but he's right now only a thing across the pond, UK. He's not in the US now. So, for your services, Arturo Ruas, you do nothing. That's all you do. You do nothing. Oh boy, how long is this milk carton? Holy cow, was this in the 50s? Yeah, 50. 50 performers on the milk carton. Plenty more to be showing up if they don't get their asses together. Well, not really. I mean, coming up here on the milk carton, it looks like we got Apollo Crews, but he's going to have a match at the pay-per-view coming up Sunday. Dexter Lumis, but he's going to have a match on NXT following Wednesday. Rhea Ripley? Maybe. Drew Gulak? Maybe. And a perennial, not a perennial, I mean, it's almost daily now, but regular mainstay on the WWE milk carton. He only shows up to perform every month, and that's Humberto Carrillo. So, we'll see what happens here. All right. It's time to get some predictions on. I'm feeling frosty. I'm going to make some horrible decisions. I need everyone in the chat room to talk me out of them. It's now time to try to keep this pay-per-view record looking good and keep me away from the tequila. Seven matches slated on the card for WWE's The Horror Show at Extreme Rules. Let me adjust the stupid little I keep on getting about the thing. That's what happened was I found a better logo for the pay-per-view and I forgot to switch it all around. All right. 7 matches slated for the card of the Extreme Show Horror Rules. 7 matches. I think 4 locks sounds apropos. In the past, I've had shows where it's been all locks. I am not doing all locks. 7 matches, 4 locks. What does that mean, Doug? If I get a locked pick wrong, I do a shot of the Luna Azul Blanco tequila. So, we are going to make very sound decisions. We are not going to think too much. Mediocre Lewis says maybe I should take shots of rum instead. No! Punishment, okay? I like rum, okay? No. Okay, it's meant to be a punishment. Okay? I'd be doing that or like Mad Dog or something like that or Everclear. Oh, God. I did 2 shots of Everclear when I was in college. Ugh. All right. Enough of this tomfoolery. Let's get to the stuff. Just announced today. The New Day defending their SmackDown Tag Team titles against a very studious Cesaro and a bewildered Shinsuke Nakamura. This one. I have got a feeling. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, help me out, guys. Here, I'm so close. This is a tables match. We're gonna get a surefire winner. I've got Gil saying that the New Day is gonna retain. I got Jamel saying that we're gonna get new champs. There is going to be a definite winner in this one. This ain't gonna be no cinematic match. That's for sure. This is actually a tough one, so I ain't locking this one, that's for sure. Janelle saying we're going to get some new tag team champs. Andrew's telling me Naka and Cesaro. I'm kind of thinking that. New champs hate the New Day. I know, mediocre. I mean, I don't care what you like or don't like. I just want to know who you think's going to win. Don't give me a biased pick. Give me an informed pick. I try to do an informed pick here. If we're doing Nakamura and Cesaro as champs, who have we got lined up for them? Lucha House Party, Heavy Machinery, New Day again. Jey Uso could be healthy again, so we have the Usos come back. Well, I've rattled them off. I think that's good. And besides, this would give good enough reason that with New Day not having the tag belts, that can give us the opening for Big E to do a singles run. No, Andrew, Miz and Morrison are a heel team. I don't want a heel team going against Nakamura and Cesaro. If we're picking Nakamura and Cesaro, then we believe that Big E may be getting his singles run. I don't know. When it comes to Forgotten Sons, they're a lost cause. Yeah, Forgotten Sons is a lost cause in this one. Or in the roster, for that matter. All right, I'll do it. I'll take it. All right, you got me. You sold me, guys. I'll take Naka and Cesaro. But I ain't locking that. I am not confident in that at all. I'll take it. I'll take Nakamura and Cesaro, but I'm not locking that. I'm not confident in that one. Apollo Crews defending the U.S. title against MVP. We haven't seen Apollo Crews in 3 weeks. Almost 3 weeks. He's about to get on the milk carton, but he's going to narrowly miss it because he's going to be on the pay-per-view. That's an old U.S. title, by the way, because MVP has the brand new U.S. title. it seems weird having MVP win this. I could see this going to DQ or something. I see some chicanery in this. Apollo with the DQ, I'm definitely going with that. I'll take Apollo. I'll take Apollo in this one. Yeah. But again, I'm not feeling them right now. I've got 5 matches left, and I have yet to make a lock. All right, let's see what else. Okay. All right. All right, we got to make a lock on this one. This one I am obligated to make a lock on. I've got to do it. I've got to make a lock on this one. This is by far the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This match is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Caused me to have one of my most blown up tweets on the Twitterverse. Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins in an eye for an eye match. Stupid. Makes no sense to me. Rumors going around that CGI is going to be used in this match. I don't know why. I don't. Rey Mysterio is getting on his last legs in his career, but this is not the time to do that. No. He's not going out like this. No, that shouldn't even be crossing our mind. When it comes to this program, what are we going to do? What are we doing after this program? What are we doing? Is someone going to be shipped to SmackDown? Probably. Someone could be shipped to SmackDown. Because this program between Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio has been going on ever since Becky announced that she had a tiny human in her tum-tum. I don't see... I'm not sure. I don't know. Because my thing is, I am sure that whoever wins or loses this match is getting shipped somewhere. Janelle saying Seth gets the win. Cook Ray haven't signed another. Nah. I don't care about contracts. I don't care about contracts right now. I'm talking about where is everyone going after this? If I have Seth win, what are we doing with Ray? We're having him lose his good eye, and now he's going to be blind like Jake Roberts after Martel got a hold of him? I've got to have Ray win. I have to have Ray win. Write Seth off TV for a little bit, and then he can show up on SmackDown. Give Seth some time off. Maybe. We'll see. Ray managing Dominic, I can definitely see that, Hayden. Absolutely. But the problem, well, doesn't sound like a bad idea. Problem is, who am I picking to win this thing? I've got to lock this. I have to. Take Ray. I'll pick Ray and I'll lock it. Pick Ray and I'll lock it. Karen defending the SmackDown Women's title against Nikki Cross. This one's a no-brainer. I'll take Karen and I'm locking that son of a bitch. There is no reason for that one. There's no reason to go against Karen on this one. No problem. No brainer. Karen and Sasha have been on every single television show, delivering 5 to 10 minute long interviews and monologues. But this one, we think they're going to be on TV for a lot longer. And we have Sasha become the new Raw Women's Champion. If we don't do this, then what's going to happen afterwards? I've got everyone. I've got Gills going Asuka. I've got Mediocre Lewis going Asuka. They better not take it away from Asuka. Oh, my God. Everyone choosing their waifu. Everyone's going on their waifu in this one, huh? Well, both of them are waifus. Got people saying that Karen is going to cost Sasha the title. Kairi Sane can make an appearance. Just saying. Your other favorite waifu could show up. Nope, taking Asuka. Take Asuka. I've got 2 more matches. I'm not locking it. I'm not locking it. We don't know what the stipulation is, but there's going to be one. Drew McIntyre defending the WWE title against Dolph Ziggler. This is a mandatory lock. Because the next match I must lock. Down big 4. This one's a no-brainer. Yeah, Drew McIntyre, absolutely. Come on. Drew, lock it. No problem. We have no idea what the stip is, and we don't really care. Don't really care. Whew. Now, there's a big one, and remember this, okay? This is a big one. Braun Strowman versus Bray Wyatt in this horror show in the swamp match thingy that they're having. The thing you got to remember about this match, it is not for the Universal title. It is a regular match. Just a match. That's all it is, just a match. Just a match. Just regular, there's no title on the line. Title is not on the line. Actually, I'll go ahead and double check it. Last I saw, it was not on the line. But we'll go ahead and double check. There we go. It's just a Wyatt Swamp fight. No title. It's a non-title match. No. I'm not sure about this one. Okay. Part of me, whichever way we get the Fiend to come out, I'm not sure how that is. Wyatt winning with shenanigans. I don't know what shenanigans there could be. It's going to be no DQ. It's going to be in flipping swamp. Bo Dallas going to come out from the depths, maybe. Something weird's going to happen. That's for sure, Michoon. Something weird's definitely going to happen. I don't know. I got to go with Strowman. I'll take Strowman. I'll go Strowman. I'll lock it. I'll take Strowman. I'll lock it. Yep. That's what I'll do. Oh boy, I'm scared now. I thought these were going to be simple, but again, the sauce makes me think too much. Sometimes you guys bring up stuff that's not important to the matches. When are contracts going up? I don't know. I'm more concerned about what we're doing after the match. All right. So here we go. Predictions for Sunday's horror show at Extreme Rules. I've got Nakamura, Shinsuke Nakamura, the bewildered Shinsuke Nakamura, and the studious Cesaro becoming your brand new NXT WWE. They're going to win the titles and beat the New Day. Apollo defeating MVP and retaining the United States title that is not on his shoulders, but the brand new one that MVP revealed. Got Rey Mysterio defeating Seth Rollins in their weird eyeball match that they're having, and I'm locking that. Karen successfully defends the WWE, the SmackDown Women's Championship against Nikki Cross, and I lock that. I've got Asuka successfully defending the Raw Women's title against Sasha Banks. I couldn't lock it. Drew McIntyre successfully defending the WWE title against Dolph Ziggler in a stipulation match that we're not sure what it is, but it doesn't really matter. I locked it. And finally, Braun Strowman defeating Bray Wyatt in their swamp match thing that is going to be cinematic. Yeah, he's going to defeat him, and then the Fiend's going to come out, and then he's going to beat up Strowman, and blah, 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 blah. And then that's all there's going to say about that. And we're not going to do any tequila. We are not going to do any tequila. That's going to do it for Wrestleview Weekly. Thank you all so much for showing up on a Friday night. It is midnight. I am sleepy. I am tired. You guys should be also if you're on the East Coast. If you're not, I helped you out in telling you what was going to be happening on SmackDown, so you shouldn't have to watch it, so you're okay. Make sure you tune in here Sunday, immediately following the long-ass titled pay-per-view Extreme Rules, the Extreme Show at the Horror Rules. Mikey Tedesco, the effervescent one, and myself will be right here after the pay-per-view to discuss the pay-per-view and all of the things that happened on the pay-per-view, the wacky-ass stuff that was at it with all the horror rules of the extreme types. We're going to talk about that. Thank you all so much for stopping by. Thank you, Det. Thank you for telling me I had a great show. Whee! Thank you all so much for stopping by. Don't be an asshole. Wear your mask. Black Lives Matter. Be nice to each other, please. Don't be stupid. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a troll. It's not worth it. Believe me, it's not worth it. Got other things to be concerned about. And while you're at it, Jamel's right. While you're at it, like this video. Subscribe to the channel. We don't ask for much. Just asking for your ear holes and eyeballs, that's all. At least your own eyeballs. And pray that Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio don't go jabbing at him with a sharp implement or something like that. We would never ask of that of you. Please subscribe. Like us. Love us. Please. Love us. Love me. We'll see you all Sunday. I may have better. Well, I'm not going to have as potent sources as this. That's for sure. I subbed yesterday. Good stuff. Thank you so much, Det. Again, thank you guys so much. As always, know when you're being sold to.